The Weekly Bark.
All right, hey, welcome back. So this next installment of the what can you use to podcast at home, we're going to talk about the Tascam Model 12. The Tascam Model 12 is a standalone mixer. It's an audio interface. It's a recorder. It is kind of like the one-stop shop for most home musicians' needs. And it's the smallest version of Tascam's three models of mixers that were designed for this purpose. And so they have the Model 24, the Model 16, and the Model 12. I'm using this as desktop audio interfacing and recording at home, so I opted for the smaller one, and to be honest, it did everything I needed it to do. It has more than enough inputs on it. All right, so it's got an SD card reader on it to where you can record right directly to an SD card. It's according to their website, it's SDHC 4 gig to 32 gig or an SD8XC 64 to 512 gigabyte deal. It's class 10 or higher. It records in WAVE or BWF. It will record at frequencies of 44.1 or 48, 16 or 24 bit, your choice. And then it's got 12 channels, which is 10 channels plus a 2 stereo mix for that one. Each one's got phantom power, so you can run condenser mics or dynamic mics, either way, in the machine, and therefore does that. It's got all your line level inputs. It's got the TRS input for your phone, so you can do the mix minus. And I recorded a telephone call as a test on it, and that worked great. And we can use that as the interface through the phone, so they could hear me perfectly and I could hear them, and there was no delay and cut. So that worked really good. So if you wanted to podcast with the Model 12 and you wanted to have somebody phoning in as a guest, you would be more than able to get that accomplished. So on the back of the Model 12, you've got the XLR or the 1/4 inch input, so you'll be able to do that. It's again, you're going to have 1 through 10, and it's really 1 through 6 individuals, and then you have a 7/8, a 9/10, and then you have the 2 stereo to get to 12, which is hence the Model 12. In practicality, if you're just going to plug in microphones in the back, realistically, you're going to be able to get 8 in at a time. 2 of them would be stereo, 9 and 10, and 7 and 8, and so forth. It's got MIDI out, so you can hook up MIDI controllers to it. It's also got the inserts, so you can do like an effects chain if you wish to do it. It's got the auxiliary outputs on as well. It's got main outs, XLR to go ahead and power your go to your PA if you wanted to play with this thing live at a club and use it as a mixing board. I've done that too, where I've used I have the Kai Force, and I'll plug that in. I'll plug my computer in. I play my guitar through a head rush pedal, and I'll have all those going in plus a condenser mic, all running independent channels. And I'll use that sort of as a go-to thing. All right, so what you're probably really interested in is how does this thing sound? And so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to run you through some of the effects on the board. And I do have it set up for my voice. I will take everything back to 0 here in just a second, and then we'll kind of run through it. So now let me start recording over here. So we're going to do that. All right, so as I said before, now we are listening to, in fact, the audio here on the Model 12. This is the Model 12 audio. What you were hearing before was the Rode mic on the camera over here. So yeah, basically this is what the audio sounds like on the Model 12. And so to give you those bits again, let me go ahead and take those back out, and we're going to start this all over again. So we're going to take everything back to 0. On the Model 12, we're going to take the compression all the way off. We're going to go ahead and take the mixer. We're going to put everything at 12 o'clock. And so here's pretty much the raw signal of the Model 12 with everything just kind of straight up and down. So for my voice, what I was talking about earlier is I love this mid sweeper. So this boosts your mid frequencies, and then you can sweep through the frequency here to find that really gnarly sort of voice sound. And for me, that's somewhere like right in here, and then I'll just take that right back out. I like to add a little treble up on the top. I like to add a little bottom on the bottom, and then we'll bring in some compression. And then this is pretty much my podcast voice that I like. So it's got some built-in pre-effects, and so you can see over here, right down in this area,
It's got a whole bunch of pre effects built in, and we can dial them in by using these knobs over here. So right here, we're going to go ahead and dial in some of the built-in effects, and you'll hear right now I've got sort of an echo delay with reverb, and so it's kind of fun. Let me put this down. And you can dial into taste and take it all the way out. And if you wanted to, kind of have some fun with it, where you're going, is everybody in? Is everybody in? Is everybody in? You can do it on the fly and add it as much as you want. You can come over here too, and we can change it by looking over here on this button. You press that button right here, and it'll be select. And then you can see up here on the screen, it'll have the different effects, and so you can just kind of scroll through them and pick the effect that you want. So if you want some flange, we'll turn that back in, and now we get the whole flanger thing going on. And if you want something else, you can add some chorus, ping pong, dual ASMR. Just kidding. And then you got delay, and of course live, different studio reverbs, plates, and so forth, and then you can just take that out. And so you can have as much fun with that as you want. That, like I said, I enjoy that for a podcast setup. Everything's being recorded right up here. There's an SD card right up here that everything's being recorded on, and then I can either use the USB to dump it into my computer, or I can pull the SD card right out and take it over. It's cool if you use it as a mixer to record live shows and whatnot. You can use it to, record it as, if you have multiple inputs in here. Like I said in my previous video, I have a bunch of different instruments that I like to plug in. So I'll plug in my guitar, my Akai Force. I'll plug in a microphone. I have a condenser mic that I like to sing with. And so then it's got 48 volts of phantom power too, that'll plug in the inputs in the back. And so, yeah, it works out really nice. So all in all, is if you're looking for an all-around unit that you can use for recording regular audio, as well as doing, podcasting, this thing works great. Like I said, the only limitations are it's only got 2 headphone inputs up here on the top, but you could use a splitter if you needed to, if you needed more headphones than that. But other than that, it's got more than enough microphone inputs. It does the mix minus with the TRRS, or how is it? TRS input for the phone, so you can record a phone call. So all in all, it's a pretty powerful unit for what it is. So something worth considering if you're out in the market. So really a great unit, about $600. It's the same cost. It's in that same ballpark. Well, let me see. I'm on Tascam's website right now, and I think they actually had it at $699. I don't think I bought it for that. I think I got it for like $599. Yeah, so they're looking at $699 on Tascam's website as of recording this video. I think when I bought it, I got it in the $500 range. But it's a great all-around mixer if you need that. Just for podcasting, I think slightly overkill. But you can't go wrong with it. And then if you want something that you can grow with or do more than just one option, portability, it's kind of big and bulky and it's heavy. So it's not going to be your most portable. It's definitely not as nice to move around as the Rodecaster Pro here or my Tascam Mixcast at home. And of all of them, I think the Mixcast is the most portable in terms of being the lightest and whatnot. But between that and the Rodecaster Pro, you're going to be golden. Hope that helps. Stay tuned next week. We're going to talk about the Rodecaster Pro, and then after that we're going to hit the Tascam, which is my personal unit that I use at home, Mixcast 4. So please like and subscribe, hit the bell notification, so as these videos drop, they'll come out in the playlist and you'll be able to see all my reviews on these upcoming pieces of equipment. Fantastic stuff. I think you'll enjoy it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time, man. Take care. Bye.
The Weekly Bark.